everyone, it is Nature Girl Gaming, and today we'll be doing another drawing thing. I have no idea why I've decided to do this, given that it was just Valentine's Day, but I've decided to do another Halloween thing that is actually Halloween and not just costumes. And I really enjoyed it. I do plan to make a Valentine's thing later. I don't know why I did the Halloween one first, but anyways, let's just get into it. So I start by deciding what stickers I would like to use for the first bit, and then once I decide, I end up trying to tone down that cheek fluff a little bit so that the paint will actually go into it when I try to fill it. So I start messing around with trying to give it a more white background so that I can get rid of the thing around the first wolf, and I decide to just try to remove it my own way, but there is quite a bit difference. And eventually I do, however, decide to make the thing bigger. That way we can have much more room for things. I do this by basically just saving the original picture and then adding it on in a sticker again. So I start adding on more and more, and eventually I decide to settle on just getting that one pup, and then I start actually doing the inside of the wolves. So I was originally going to make this one ebony, but then I got a better idea, and I'm just going to make it a mud-covered wolf, which is why I'm going in with brown now. And this is all the wolves, not just the Wolves of Winds one. And I wasn't able to do wings just because I couldn't find a sticker that would fit. So I'm just pretending that the wings would be drowned out by the mud. So at this point, I start deciding what I should do, and I start going in on the nose and the eyes to try to make it look a bit more realistic and get enough room for the pupils. I end up settling on green eyes because I think that it would work pretty well with the mud that would be draped over them, as you can see there. And then I start working on the tongue again. So I decide that I do want wings for this one, so I just copy and paste this one again. I know I'm lazy. But basically, after I copy paste it, I start working on the wings, because normally they would be up top, but now they can't be because we're supposed to all be on the ground. So at this point, they do look quite different. Start going in on the mud drips, but I do much less, but it does make sense because this little wolf will be new to it. And no, there will be no spoilers. That's why I cloaked it in mud. We do not know who these are. So I end up trying to get a knife, and I actually spend this whole time trying to figure out how to make a proper blade, and I eventually settle on that and do a lot of shaping. So I make a basket, like a Halloween basket, and then I start working on Rain. So I fill Rain in with all of the gritty silver. I should have made it a bit lighter now looking back on it, but I think that it still looks nice. I start trimming off all the fur lines so that the fill button will go in easier, and I start trying to make kind of a more happy expression that looks like you're happy but trying to contain your excitement. So I start deciding what costume I should use, and I think about this for quite a while. I was originally going to make her a tree, but I think that wouldn't make much sense. Then I was going to make her a sheet ghost, even though I thought I didn't like them much, it would make sense. And then, since I realized that the background is white, I decided to make her a witch. This doesn't have anything to do with anything except for maybe the fact that she gets prophecies and omens. If you've read book 6, if you've read chapter 6, then you would understand why she gets all the omens, the ghosts come down. So I start giving the little hat some stars because I think that she's a witch. She needs a proper detail on her hat. So I work a lot on the stars and I do proper placement, but try to make it look random. It's actually an art technique that I've seen a lot. And then I start struggling with the dress. So I wanted it to have a short sleeve thing, but if I were to put on the black now after this, then it would pretty much just all be black, just like Kerr was in the other one. So I decide to tone it down a little bit. It does look a little bit weird that her tail isn't there, but I like it. And I start doing glasses, probably the best part about her, I think. And then I start on to Riverstone. So I make her much darker gray, and I don't know why I spent so long on like Riverstone, but something I realized was that last time I gave her a long, like luscious tail. She's supposed to have a more thin, mangled tail, according to her bio. So I start making her a pirate, and I have no idea why I worked so hard to blend the colors and like the red and the gray, but I have to blend them together. So I start doing more teeth, and then I realize that this does not look good enough. I need to give her some kind of shirt or whatever. So I decide to go for a red shirt, and I start doing it in kind of just parts to decide if I like it. And I decide to fill that all in red, but also make the top part yellow so that it can be kind of like a golden thing. And for some reason it does look a lot like pirate. I don't know if it was just the eye patch mixed with the red and yellow or if I actually did a really good job on the dress, but I think it looks pretty good. So next I start on Dyrus, and I really like the way they turned out, actually. So I decided to make them Jason again because they're just kind of basic, so I don't know what they exactly would be, although I guess they do always sneak up on me, which is one of the reasons I do Jason. So I start doing the eyes, and I remember to make them lusciously orange. Lusciously orange, that's such a strange thing. And after they're done with the orange, I start putting on blood for the feet and for the mouth. And I've recently found a new way for doing a bloody mouth, but I have decided that I actually like the other thing better. Now this is when I start realizing that I should work harder on the knives. So at this point it looks more like a meat cutter or something, or like a butcher's knife. So then I remember that it would be straight forwards and then slightly curving down. But the blood covers it all up anyway, and I don't realize this until later, but let's continue. So the reason why you see it all moving around now is because I decided that it would make more sense if Dyrus was facing in the direction of all the other wolves, because they're a family. So I put him there and then swap it around and get other wolf that's yet to be named sitting there. So now I start working on one of their pups. I've decided to only do one pup this time because we also have Rain. But what I have decided to do is do Alder because he was the one that died. Last time I made the other thing, we did not know that Alder died, but this time we do, so now we can make him something different. And I have no idea why I decided to do what I did next. I deleted the eye on the side because I thought that it looked weird, but now it looks even weirder when I decide to try my hardest to get on a bandit mask. So what I do is I mess around with the tail, and then I start deciding on things I could do because I have no idea. So I just decide to make him a bandit. I get little tiny like notches of black and start moving them around, but it looks a little strange, so I decide to move the eye up. And after that, I think that it looks pretty nice. So I decided to add back on the other eye, and I think it looks kind of weird that he's cross-eyed. But I've decided on this because it just looks the most natural. So now I would move on to the other wolf after I finish his eyes. So I decide to make this one Ghost, which is the loner from Wolves of Wind. And this will be the one giving out all the candy if you don't count the knife. But basically, Ghost was the albino she-wolf that was that accidentally ran into them while being chased away from camp in, I think it was chapter 5. So basically, I start working on it, and I decide to make her some sort of makeup thing. I don't know why, I was kind of running out of ideas that would be simple but also pretty cool looking, so I decided to give her a bit of like nail polish, and I guess I should have given her a dress maybe because it looks kind of plain to just have her be the same background, like the color of the background. But next I go in and name them all. We have the murderer's apprentice, Rain, who's a witch, Riverstone, who's a pirate, Dyrus, who's Jason, Elder, who's a bandit, and then I decide to go back to Ghost. And I don't know why I didn't give her lipstick the first time, but now she has some. And I also gave her kind of a golden chain necklace, which I think looks really cool. So I start designing the food she's giving out, and I end up choosing a Reese's Pieces just because I think that would be nice, because it's normal. And I start putting on the, things that they're saying, which I didn't do last time. I feel like I should have. So we have, this is an order, I will read it. But what about candy, says the murderer's apprentice. And the murderer says, you don't need candy. And then Rain, who's dressed as a witch, says, candy, candy. And Riverstone, be patient, friend Rain. And then Dyrus says, Jason, go ahead, honey. And then Elder, hello, miss. And then we have the final one at the very end, and, that was funny. The final one at the very end means it restarts. Basically, what happens is we finish off, and I give her the title. I don't know why it disappears at the end. And it says, why don't be shy? I'm merely in my best ball gown. And I don't know why I had her say that, because she's not in a ball gown, although I guess it would be her best ball gown, because she's a wolf. It's her best ball gown, even though it's not a gown. But anyways, I just thought this would be a nice, goofy little thing to do. And I really like the way that it turned out, because we have all of our beautiful wolves all set up here, and I think my favorite one was probably Rain, but I also really liked the way the Elder turned out, actually. So I would just really, really like this, to do this much, much more, because I think that's really pretty. So anyways, I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!